Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing safe and well. I'm today going to tell you a story about two friends. Their names are Mark and Sarah. They grew up together since childhood, did everything together and developed a strong bond, and later eventually got into a relationship. They both were studying in the same university, the University of Birmingham in England. Mark, having strong analytical thinking, was majoring in accountant finance, whereas Sarah was more interested in healthcare, so she was majoring in nursing. They were about to complete their degrees and had a graduation party upcoming. After 3 years post their degree completion, Sarah and Mark planned to get married and planned to get together with their old university friends, Terry and Josephine, to share the good news about their marriage. During walking home, having fun and talking, Sarah and Mark, as they were fans of horror places, or more like exploring the unknown adventures, they were suggested by Terry and Josephine for an exciting trip to Clint Hill. From within the dense forest, said to be the place with rumors that it is haunted. Later that night, after reaching home, Terry and Josephine planned to surprise Mark and Sarah, and also planned to go to the same location by through a different route. The next day, while Mark and Sarah were having dinner, Mark was very excited about the location suggested by Terry and Josephine to them for the adventurous trip to the Clint Hills from within the dense forest. Although Sarah was pessimistic about this at first, being religious as there were rumors about this place for being haunted, but eventually agreed to make Mark happy. The next day, they packed up everything required and left for the trip in their car, kept driving for 4 straight hours, and finally reached the location. Further was their journey on foot, as there was no way for the car to go into the dense forest, so they left the car at the same spot and proceeded on foot. They kept walking and walking towards the hill for 2 hours. It was starting to get dark, both tired. They then started to look for a good place to set up their camp for the night and proceed further the next morning. As they were walking, they saw an old abandoned mansion in the middle of the forest. Mark said to Sarah that rather than setting up a camp, let's stay in this house tonight. Sarah repeatedly denied, as she was not feeling right and had a strange feeling about this abandoned house in the middle of nowhere, but eventually agreed as Mark requested multiple times, and the other reason was that it started raining and thunder rumbling. As they entered the house, strange noises began to echo through the halls, wind blowing and doors creak opening and shutting on their own. Mark and Sarah kept their belongings on a table as they entered. Both started to grow a sense of nervousness and dread. Still, they proceeded within the house and discovered an old dusty Ouija board in the attic. They decided to use it, being curious, thinking it might reveal the secrets of this abandoned house. As they loved horror movies and adventures, they knew how to use it. Sarah nervously asked,
"Is anyone here with us?"
Nothing happened. Sarah again said,
"If there is anyone here with us, give us a sign."
Still nothing happened, so Mark and Sarah thought the Ouija boards are fake and not real, and they then turned around to leave the attic. But as they turned, Plachette on the board moved mysteriously to yes, and they started hearing whispers. Sarah, scared, terrified. The attic started to grow colder. Evil whispers continued. Mark, concerned, said,
"Who are you and what do you want from us?"
The room darkens, and eerie shadows dance around. Mark and Sarah, both scared and terrified. The friends soon realize they made a mistake. They've unleashed something by using the Ouija board more like an entity, creature imprisoned for centuries. Sarah starts to blame Mark, as she had denied to come inside the house initially. Suddenly the door slams shut. Friends scream in terror. Mark, concerned, said,
What do you want from us?
Sinister whispers surround the room, growing louder. The unseen entity begins to manifest. Sarah, shivering, said,
We have to send it back.
The entity laughs at them, starts taking its demonic shape, its eyes glowing with malevolence. Mark, defiant,
We command you to leave.
the entity lunges forward, revealing its horrifying form. Both Mark and Sarah scared, shivering in terror, looking at the evil entity as it moved towards them. In that forgotten house in the middle of the forest, the Ouija board's whispers still linger, a chilling reminder of a darkness that should never have been awakened. After a while, Terry and Josephine, as they were traveling in their car through a different route to surprise Mark and Sarah, reached at the entry to the forest, left the car there, and started walking into the forest. Soon after walking into the forest, wanted to set up camp to rest, while walking to find a good spot. Coincidentally, they found the same haunted mansion, probably as it was the only way to Clint Hill. As entered the mansion, they saw the backpack of Mark and Sarah on a table in the hallway and tried to find them everywhere in the mansion. But they were nowhere to be found. They moved forward in the mansion and found the same Ouija board in the attic.